Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we will take a look at the mirror of remote viewing and how Ainz could by sheer accident have given away far more information about himself than he wanted during the supposed battle with Riku Aganeia. But before we do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel. And in order to understand what has potentially happened, we need to understand Ainz's mirror first. Now, as the name suggests, the mirror of remote viewing allows its users to observe any known or unknown place, and it can be directed with hand gestures. Moving your hand to the right will move the picture to the right as well. Moving the hand away from it will cause the feed to zoom out. Moving it closer to the mirror will cause the picture to zoom in. And if both hands are positioned at 9 and 3 o'clock and then turned like a steering wheel, the picture will be rotated as well. So in short, this item has a lot of similarities with the mirror from Snow White, though there were no scenes where the mirror zoomed accidentally into the house of the 7 dwarfs while they were at it with Snow White, like Ainz did with the Lizardmen Crush Lulu and Sarayuru Sasha. And while both of these mental images can make one very uncomfortable, the mirror is far more problematic than essentially any modern-day surveillance measure, because at least we can see the cameras. And while we know that most of our online traffic is monitored by various government agencies all around the globe, and while this would be a great place for a sponsorship of NordVPN, nearly all of the New World denizens are unaware that such great government-driven surveillance measures are even possible, and even if they were, they didn't have any obvious signs that they would be monitored, while we could at least stare back at the camcorder in our shower. Though, and I guess this is a huge plus, in contrast to our own world, the denizens of the new one have, once they are being suspicious of being monitored, at least potentially the option to cast anti-divination magic, and even low-level counter-surveillance measures are enough to lock the mirror of remote viewing out. It's pretty much the same way a piece of duct tape makes the camera of laptops and smartphones pretty much useless. Additionally, this special mirror could just as easily be shattered as a normal one, making any travel with it very risky. And finally, both Henry, who felt like an evil overlord was watching over her, and Jerknev, who lost his hair, about the very justified suspicion of being spied on, seemed to be at least vaguely aware that something's watching them. Fear of the dark. And Jerknev's mental and physical health suffered from it. Furthermore, Henry's father apparently stared right at Ainz through the mirror of remote viewing before he perished at the hands of the disguised member of the Sunlight Scripture, and he was apparently begging Ainz to save his daughter. But again, and this is kinda important, as of yet, we have no confirmation that all of these interactions were caused by the mirror of remote viewing, since Henry was very stressed out with her new tasks. Her father was literally dying and could as well have begged the gods to save his daughter, and Emperor Jerknev, after being welcomed into the Great Tomb of Nezarec, probably reacted rather calm and collected, all things considered. And the last and final puzzle piece are the interesting synergy effects that occur when Ainz buffs his abilities to spy with his mirror. For example, normally the mirror wouldn't be able to look into closed-off spaces, for example a Lizardman hut. But again, Ainz is not exactly unfamiliar to the concept of buffing. I mean, he's like literally everybody and their son bros before entering the Fog Gate. But by far the most interesting buff he experienced was one that Ainz wasn't even aware of until he tried it. During the battle between Pandora's actor and Platinum Dragonlord, Ainz observed the entirety of the fight via his mirror of remote viewing, and Ainz, trying to figure out what kind of spell Riku Aganeia was casting, did something very smart. He unequipped his world-class item, the red orb in his chest, and he probably did it for the first time in the entire story so far, and as soon as he did it, the connection the mirror of remote viewing had was lost. And only after Ainz had re-equipped his world-class item did the connection return. This is especially remarkable because world-class items were constantly referred to as wild magic by the Dragonlords, and Albedo was able to pierce the world-separating barrier effortlessly, while the world-class item Les Pandora's Actor failed to do so. So in a similar way to Albedo's Ginun Gagap, the red orb of Ainz had neutralized a wild magic spell casted by the strongest currently existing Dragonlord. But here's the thing, Riku Aganeia, or rather Platinum Dragonlord, might, like Enri's father, Emperor Jerknef, and Enri herself, have noticed that he was being observed. And if he had noticed the brief interruption as well, he might become aware that he had been observed by someone else with a world-class item, which would also explain why he guessed that Nezarick maybe has access to two of them. So if he can establish a connection between Albedo breaching the world-separating barrier and the real Ainz breaching it as well via the mirror of remote viewing, something Platinum Dragonlord might be potentially become aware of, then this little detail could become really important later on, since Ainz currently has the information advantage over Platinum, but he is still unaware who he truly is, while the Dragonlord might be able to track the connection back after he figured out that he has been watched by someone in the possession of a world-class item, or as he knows it, wild magic. And if he figures out that there's another Nezarick-related world-class item user, then he might also figure out that Pandora's Actor was just Pandora's Actor and not Ainz at all. Something that might help him to fight Ainz in the second battle. Because remember, Ainz has said that he might have to lose against Platinum Dragonlord again, and he might be in for a very bad surprise if this happens. And with this rather uncomfortable thought, I will end this video. Thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Adam J, Al Capone, Andy, Angel of Death, Bad Guy Yi, Ben C, Boyzilla, Chrissy, Conquer All, Death is Mercy, Diabetic Centaur, Dystopia, Elika Birchleaf, Phalis Catus, Theralchivan, Forbus Gurupulon, Gigafight, Ghost of Epicness, Guy with Dead Head, Hector Marino, Black Phoenix Emperor, Hoss, Huster, Janabi, Jason, Kleinator, Chromius, Larch, Lifa, Legendarius, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Lord Ulbertalane Oddle, Luces Ollie, Lexus Fox, Majima, Matt, Matt C, Marcos, Michael R, Mr. Shoes, Mindless Wrath, Minnow 13, Mirtis, Nfiria's Potion, O'Kill, Paddy Pantom, Primus 11, Sasuga Einsama, Sebastian, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Search, Sparkly Unicorn, Sunlight, the Mad Alien, the Orc Warboss Rock Smasher, Ultra Suck, Vash Hawkeye, Zoggo Bane of a Lot, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, I hope to see you all again soon on my next video. Over and out.